Hello, everybody. Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. I hope you all had a nice holiday week the past 2 weeks. It's been very weird with both weeks being broken up directly right down the middle on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday session, and then a Thursday, Friday session. And that weirdness continues next week as Jimmy Carter's state funeral is on Thursday, so markets will be closed on Thursday. I don't know if the market's ever had 3 weeks in a row where we've had a holiday and or a full market closure happening in the middle of the trading week for 3 straight weeks. Don't know if that's ever happened before. But after this, don't forget Martin Luther King Jr. Day is coming up, but I believe that is on a Monday, so it is at least the week won't be broken up. Overall, though, the market, I like what I saw yesterday with that undercut and rally on the S&P 500, along with today's bullish session. Now, my two most important indicators, which really makes me start focusing on the long side, on the price side, is this tickets indicator, a proprietary indicator that we built at Big Wave Trading, and the time segment volume indicator. And to keep it simple, green means go, red means no go or slow. And with the overall uptrend still being up, especially on a weekly time frame, it means go slow. It's not necessarily no go. No go would be if you start breaking down below support levels, especially whenever you're below the 200 SMA. But the SPY is double red. The QQQ is double red. DIA double red. IWM double red. And if I have to look at the aggressive indices, FFTY double red. ARC double red. So today's session, great session. Saw a lot of things I like today, but I just want to make it clear we're not 100% lined up, which means I raised a lot of cash right before the market sell off and right after this session. Basically went from fully invested to now it's under 100% invested. It can easily go back to 200% with a few grade A signals or a properly aligned market. We're just not quite there yet, but I'm looking forward to it. We had some new long signals this whole week, I believe. We only had one new long signal, Cyber. Kind of worked. It's still working. Hasn't really done a whole lot, but it was a long signal after this day. I do believe the day before there were no long signals, but then all of a sudden, yesterday, we got four of them. So Cyber was our first long signal this week. So far, it's working, but it is extended. But then yesterday, I received four new long signals. WLFC was one of them, a pocket pivot point signal at the 50. It's working up 2% today, which, by the way, is better than the index that I'm tracking, the QQQ. I want to see all my new long positions beat that. My favorite one out of all three, though, did the least amount of upside work today. Interactive Brokers, but that still looks fine. But then, of course, there's these two winners. MTZ, up almost 5% on the day, and VST, up almost 8% on the day. Now, some bad news for me personally. I didn't get filled. Told you guys that I love that red to green. If you're going to buy the gap ups, you want to see a dip in the morning and a reclaim of VWAP. Haven't even studied this chart, but since I live on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, I gave myself a limit offset, and that limit offset was 151.40, I believe. So I missed my fill by 26 cents. Nothing you can do about it. But VST, still looking good. So that leads us to the two new long signals that I have for today. They both have composite ratings of 96 or higher. The first one will be BILL. I got a long signal on this day on BILL. I would consider this a standalone 1-day grade A signal because you can see the volume truncation in the middle window with the max green bop along with the pocket pivot point signal near the 500 EMA, but it's not near the 50 SMA, the 200 SMA, or as you can see here, it was right on top of the 21 EMA, which is why it was fine with that 500 EMA. But with this stock so far extended from the 50 SMA, is it really a grade A setup? It sure is not. Never did trigger, but today I have an additional signal. So this order is still live on the books above the high of the day. And now I'll be adding another order. I am not, even though every long position, so I am increasing size, but I'm not doing it the full anti-martingale methodology, though I should, and I still might. So if I was only risking $500 per this signal here, I should increase it to 1,000 on this signal after today's session. But because there's already one signal out there, I don't really want to ruin my dollar cost averaging too much. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my R unit the same on this one. You can either use this low a day or the 50 SMA, but I'm only going to get long above the high of the day, 88.34 to 88.35, with a 1% limit offset. And once again, you want to mainly get long these stocks on red to green moves. So you want to see a gap down. I prefer gap downs. But if they're going to gap up, you want to see at least how it trades. You can chase it if you want, if there's a major catalyst event. But if there's not a major catalyst event, you want to see it pull and then reclaim the intraday VWAP and or another level that you have identified and then get long. So hopefully we don't get a gap up, we get a gap down, we trade up and through 88.34, and then we continue on up and through 92.14, and then hopefully we hit 100, 120, $200 in the next 2 weeks would be amazing. But odds of that happening are slim, but still, pocket pivot point signal near the moving averages. The 50 SMA is getting closer, heavier above average volume. So is that max ring BOP. BILL 96 composite rating. I'm definitely giving a shot. And the last long signal for this weekend for me is CLMB. This used to be WSTG. I did not recognize it at first. Now I will admit, very thin stock. Very thin stock, so I recommend limit orders on this one. I'm getting long above 129.89, 129.90 with a 1% limit offset. And I'll be calculating my size and risking to this low. And I am employing the anti-martingale methodology on this one following today's session, considering all of my recent new long positions from yesterday are working as of right now. So CLMB will be that full anti-martingale increase. So BILL, CLMB. And actually, before we end this video lesson, let's move on to here. I actually want to show you something else that hasn't happened in a long time. Multiple late day runners, multiple NITO was one, KITT was another one, and I think I turned off the after hours data, and KITT is continuing. FCUV was another late day mover, and ACON was another late day mover off a pullback and hold of a key moving average and other levels that I look at on another charting platform. So that was impressive to see on its own. Now getting back to the two new long positions, BILL, I wanted to show you on a daily time frame. We are in a squeeze, so we're hoping, or I'm hoping at least, that we resolve the squeeze higher by coming out of the squeeze and moving higher. And on a higher time frame, the weekly, you can see we're uptrending right off the 9 weekly EMA, and I'm triple green, shaking money flow, MACD, TSV. I just like to stack all these indicators are not important, guys. All that matters is price and volume. I don't need any of these indicators. They kind of just help me to know the quality of the overall signal. When everything's aligned, I know I can push it. Index level, fundamental level, and the underneath technical momentum and trend indicators, when I have everything lined up, I can take these trades with full confidence and full size. And when they're not lined up, I modulate. And so right now, BILL is up there. It isn't perfect, but hey, I'm triple green. I showed you the squeeze on the daily. I told you about the fundamentals, not showing the market surge chart, but they're solid, solid, solid. Is it perfect? No. Is this a medium squeeze, red dot squeeze? And whenever you fire out of the red dot squeeze into the loose squeeze, then you can have a 65 to 75% run? No. And that's what I'm talking about. It's not quite the same setup. When we look at CLMB, we are in that medium squeeze. We do have that TTM trend momentum curling. When we look at the higher time frame, I'm double green. I'm good on the CMF. I'm good on the MACD. And while TSV is red, it's above the zero line. So that's basically perfect alignment to me. We're above that. We're right at that 9 EMA weekly. So once again, CLMB, we're not 100% there, but we're 85% there. BILL, we're not 100% there with everything aligning, but we're 85% there. So good quality long signals. If they don't work, CLMB, this is my stop. It's right there. BILL, it's right there, the 50 SMA or the slow day. You pick your poison. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video lesson, guys. Like I said, hope you had a nice holiday week and the week before. Back to normal trading on Monday. Nice to see late day runners and stocks that are in play here. And overall, I don't know, things are looking good. Here's some of my my leaders right now. Look at RDDT. Looks great, right? Looks fantastic. RKLB looks fantastic. ALAB looks fantastic. They're all in the long-term portfolios. I have no complaints. I'm hoping 2025 is just like 2023 and 2024. Will it be? Nobody knows, but the trend is our friend until it ends. And on a weekly time frame, this is the SPY. I don't ever get bearish on a secular time period until we're below the 200-week moving average. It rarely ever happens, but when it does, when you get below and stay below, bad things can happen. Bad things can happen below this average. When we're well above it, I have to be bullish.